Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And of course, a new month means a new Gunpla schedule. So prepare yourselves for a lot of new Witch from Mercury Gunpla. First up, we're getting the Lfrith Ur with its awesome looking Gatling gun, Advanced of Zeta inspired backpack, and just overall great looking proportions. I'm also not seeing any hollow parts on this thing, so the only negative thing that I've got to say is that it looks like the gun arm system on the chest is just going to be using stickers and not that amazing new molding technique they use for the Ariel and the Lfrith. But whatever the case might be, this blue giant can be yours on March the 4th for 2090 yen or 16 US. Or at least they said that it was going to be March the 4th, because today when I checked Gundam.info, they said that it was already releasing, so yeah. And then everything else releases on the 18th, or so they say. We've got the Ariel rebuild for 1,870 yen, 14 US, which unfortunately does not come with open hands, but it does come with 11 bit staves that can either form a shield, combine with the machine, or combine with the beam rifle for its very Doan Wolf inspired pose. Then for 1,760 yen, 13 US, we have the Lfrith Ur with its fantastic color scheme, but very unique proportions. But in the mobile suit's defense, well, in the Gunpla's defense, it does accurately portray the short legs and ridiculously long arms. And just like the Ur, it's got a very Advanced of Zeta inspired backpack, but again, it doesn't seem to use the Ariel and Lfrith's special molding technique for the gun arm system. And if you want to go really deformed, for 1,320 yen, 10 US, there is the SDW Heroes Dominant Superior Darkness Dragon. It comes molded in metallic black, solid black, clear black, and purple, and definitely embodies the name that it's got. And finally, for 550 yen a pop, around 4 US, we've got a bunch of water slide decals. There's the Witch from Mercury General Purpose 1, Witch from Mercury General Purpose 2, Witch from Mercury General Purpose 3, Original Gundam Side Stories General Purpose 1, Original Gundam Side Stories General Purpose 2, and Real Grade God Gundam. And then for the new stuff, this week we again got some really cool figure news, and it's actually completely new stuff this week, not just recolors or re-releases. Like the Gundam Fixed Figuration Metal Composite Gundam Deathscythe Hell Endless Waltz version. And to say that this thing is fully featured would be quite the understatement, because as we've come to expect from this line, they've really gone above and beyond. We've got a fully posable cloak, the regular beam scissors that can also be turned into the Glory of Losers' twin beam scissors. There's 2 additional beam sights that can also be combined. We've got the Hornets from Glory of Losers, and then as the crowning jewel, we have the new Buster Shield Hell. A combination of the very ornate coffin-esque shield used by the TV version of the Deathscythe Hell and the Wing Zero's shield. And this new shield isn't just for show, because it's also used to allow the Deathscythe Hell to transform into its brand new, never seen before, figure exclusive Raven mode. And for even more transformation fun, we've also got some opening armor panels that turns it into the Grim Reaper mode. And at 33,000 yen, 242 US, the first thing that this Grim Reaper will kill is probably your wallet. Slightly cheaper then, we have the colored version of the upcoming Gundam Girls' Generation Lunamaria Hawk swimsuit version. We don't have the official price or release date yet, but it is estimated to be releasing this summer, and they've also shown off the undressing gimmicks. As you can see in the promotional images, you can remove her jacket, and as you can see in the promotional video, which I will have linked down below, you can also remove her shorts. And then we go even cheaper with the next Gundam Military Generation announcement. And unfortunately, I'm not just talking about the price here. For 6,600 yen, 49 US, you'll be able to get the Cucuruz Doan and Blanka set in July. Although I will admit that just like the Rambaral set, it does look pretty good, at least in the promotional images. Doan himself is nicely proportioned and also comes with some cool accessories, like his helmet that can also be worn, a gun, a pistol, and of course, Blanka, who looked positively menacing in the reveal image thanks to the lighting. And the other set they unveiled for July was the WfM Team Earth Federation Forces General Soldier and Federation Soldier bike. Now, I wasn't a huge fan of the Xeon version of this bike, so this remold isn't really doing it for me either. I'm also not really sure how I feel about both bikes being basically the same, except for the lights, the color, the removable windshield, and a few other minor differences. But putting that aside, included with the bike is a female soldier who's wearing glasses. She comes with a jacket you can put over her shoulders, a pistol, a gun, a grenade launcher, and the head of Corporal Sally from the 07th MS team, despite the set being called the 08th MS team. All of this for a mere 8,250 yen, 60 US. Keep in mind that these aren't 1/12 scale figures, but non-scale 10 centimeter ones, which is not quite 4 inches. And if you really like the motorcycle, it'll also be available for 6,600 yen, 49 US, which really isn't that much of a discount considering what they're already charging for the individual action figures, and unfortunately the soldier herself will not be individually available. But a set that will be available over at P-Bandai is the Gundam Military Generation Cucuruz Doan's Island and 08th MS Team General Soldier and Bike box set. And just as the name indicates, this is just the Doan figure, female soldier, and the bike, but now in one box for the same price, without any extras, or at least they haven't announced any extras yet, so yeah. Let's forget about those Gundam Military Generation figures and have a look at another thing that's coming up this summer, the third Mobile Suit Mechanical Bust Gachapon. And this time, it's going to be the Apparel. I really love how it's not just the eyes that light up, but also the gun arm system, and I really hope it's going to look just as awesome in real life as it does on the promotional images. The one thing that did catch me off guard is just how big the eyes are. Like, when I first saw this promotional image, I thought it was some kind of hybrid, super deformed and realistic figure, but no. Granted, in some shots of the anime, the eyes of the Apparel are actually that big, and I guess it's just having the bust of the Apparel that really highlights the size of the eyes. We don't have any official details beyond this, but based on the two previous Gachapon figures, it is safe to assume that for 500 yen a spin, we'll be able to get the regular armor set, clear armor set, and then a lighting unit needed to complete the figure. Meaning that you'll need at least 1,000 yen, 7 US, and a good amount of luck to get this complete bust. But that wasn't nearly everything from Mercury or Mega House, because they also unveiled the prototypes for the Suletta and Miorine Rukappu figures, also known as Look Up figures. Because the whole deal with these figures is that they're designed to be placed on your desk, and they're looking up, so when you look at them, they're staring back at you, judging you for whatever you're doing on that computer. Because yes, they know. And they also confirmed that Gyul, Elan, and Shadiq will become part of the line in the future, and they'll also be releasing Witch from Mercury rubber mascot buddies, Chocorin mascots, and Toko Toko acrylic stands. And talking about keychains and acrylic stands, we got these adorable Witch from Mercury GyuGyutto items featuring the main characters holding on to their main machine or main item. Soletta and the Ariel, Miorine and a Tomato, Gyul and his Daryl Balde, Elan and the Feroct, Shadiq and the Michaelis, Nika and her Notepad, Choo-Choo and her custom Demi-Trainer, and then there's a double one featuring Soletta and Miorine from the Incubation Party, each holding a fancy glass. You can get them as a keychain for 748 yen each, 6 US, a mini acrylic stand for 660 yen each, 5 US, or a complete set of can badges for 4,000 yen, 30 US. They're available for pre-order on regular hobby stores right now, so I will have them linked down below, and they're currently slated to be shipping out in May. And from Gachapon machines, you'll be able to get these adorable Mobile Suit Girl and Mobile Suit Boy acrylic stands. In April, you'll be able to get Soletta, Miorine, Nika, Choo-Choo, Shadiq, Gyul, or Elan for 300 yen a spin, around 2 US. And since we're on the topic of Witch from Mercury, we're going to be getting official Witch from Mercury tomato soup. It's the gift that keeps on giving. As part of the Witch from Mercury Expo, which is brought to you by Gundam Inc., tomato soup made from Miorine's tomatoes will be sold. I'll get back to you once I know if they're actually serving this as a fresh dish at the expo, so you can only get it at the expo, or if this is going to be some kind of instant soup kind of deal that you could actually get shipped abroad. And before we have a look at the Gunpla, we also got all the details for the Tamashii Nations World Tour Limited Robot Spirit Strike Gundam Deactive Mode Virgin Anime. For 5,500 yen, 40 US, it comes with 2 folded armor Schneiders, 2 unfolded armor Schneiders, 2 thruster effect parts, a bunch of hands, and a stand that replicates the Archangel's launch pad, but in a somewhat more compact way. Something that I would definitely say is the highlight of this set. Now, they of course also advertise that this strike is fully compatible with the other striker packs like the Ale Striker, but be warned, in order to get a complete deactive Ale Strike Gundam, you don't just have to buy this set and the add-on Ale Striker set, but also the regular strike, because that is the only set, so far, that also comes with the beam rifle and the shield. But still a very nice set regardless. And last, but definitely least, the RAHDX Katejina Loos figure will be resold in late August, and that's not just on P-Bandai, but also on regular hobby stores. On the Gunpla front then, we didn't get nothing, but it's not quite as impressive as the figure news. We're getting a new Master Grade F90 pack for 2,420 yen, which is around 20 US, and it is the We Have the Zeta Gundam at Home Plunge pack. It's got some interesting leg armor and guns for the shoulders, but other than that, its main feature is transforming into a budget version of the Wave Rider. If you want one, it's currently slated for a June release. Somewhat more exciting then was the announcement of a Witch from Mercury custom action base number 6 clear color version. You get 2 base plates, 1 peg connector, 2 C-arm connectors, a joint set, and then of course the thing that makes this the Witch from Mercury version, 4 stickers to put on the base plate. There's Soletta and Miorine, Gyul, Elan, and Shadiq. The set is currently up for pre-order on regular hobby sites, so I will have it linked down below, and for 1,100 yen, around 8 US, it can be yours in May. And in June, you can get these 2 Soletta and Miorine acrylic stands taken directly from their box art, or these keychains that are literally the box art from Soletta, Miorine, the Ariel, or the Ariel Rebuild. The acrylic stands go for 1,100 yen each, 8 US, and the keychains go for 660 yen each, 5 US, and they're also linked down below. And other than those, we simply got the announcement that the previously released Gundam Marker X Plated Silver, White Gold, and Yellow Gold will now be sold as a package deal for 1,100 yen, 8 US, and Japanese P-Bandai got a restock of the last session version of the Thunderbolt Gundam and Thunderbolt Zaku, as well as the weapon set for the Gundam, and the high-grade Gundam Rose got a second wave of pre-orders. On the gaming front then, we also got some really cool news this week. In Gundam Battle Operation 2, the Ixeku Tsuai came bursting onto the scene. It was announced that they'll be having a Gundam Thunderbolt Bandit Flower collaboration, so who knows which machine from that movie we'll be getting. And they're also having a Gundam NT collaboration, which will get you a free level 1 DJ as well as a few interesting visual changes. In Gundam Breaker Mobile then, we've got the Blitz as a step-up Gunpla part capsule, and the Awakening Calamity multi-mission event popped up again. In UCN Gate, we've got an event gacha featuring the RX-78F00 Gundam High Mobility type and Amuro Ray, and also a brand new mode called the Amuro Char mode. This mode will feature only 2 titular characters and the relationship from UC0079 to UC0093, and will also feature some cool new animation. Next up then, the American Gundam Evolution Twitter got to announce that the next Gundam Evolution machine will be from Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. And very fittingly, they recreated the old Toonami trailer for this announcement. So get ready to suit up for the mission briefing on March the 3rd, 10 PM Pacific time. And given Evolution's interesting roster of mobile suits, I really wonder which machine is going to be joining, because the obvious ones would be either the Wing Zero or the Deathscythe Hell, or maybe even the Heavy Arms. But again, given their penchant for going for lesser known machines, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the Serpent. The arcade game Gundam Arsenal Base then got Link Stage Season 1. This upgrade includes new mobile suits from Double Zeta Gundam, Gundam Seed, Gundam Age, Thunderbolt, and Blue Destiny, new battleships, which is a very welcome addition, and a new starter deck, Gundam Seed Volume 2. The first one had the original 5 Gundams and their pilots, and this second version appropriately has the 5 main Gundams of the later part of the series. The Freedom and Kira, the Justice and Atheron, the Dual Assault Shroud and Izak, the Buster and the Arca, and because Nickel offed himself by running into the Sword Strike's giant sword, he got replaced by Rolla Crusade and the Providence Gundam. And for fans of Pachinko, we're apparently getting a new version of the P-Fever Gundam Unicorn Pachinko machine, called the P-Fever Gundam Unicorn Light version. It just sounds like a less bad version of a pretty bad disease you can get. So far, we only have this teaser image with more details being revealed at a later date. And in other news, we've got the illustration used on the Reconguista NG's Aeon Limited Storage box for the compact Blu-ray box, and on March 18th, the 10th Mechanical Designers Summit will be held online. You can check it out through the link down below, but it will of course be completely in Japanese. As for what we could get this week then, last week Friday, the DVD and Blu-ray versions of Reconguista NG's 4th movie were released in a variety of sets for a variety of prices. Starting Monday, the Witch from Mercury Acrylic Stand Collection No. 1 has become available in Gachapon machines across Japan, meaning that for 400 yen a spin, 3 US, you can get Suletta, Miorine, Nika, Chuchu, Cecilia and Roji, Sophie, Norea, and Delling. And then, like I said in the beginning, today we apparently already got the Lfrith Ur. On to this week's reading material then, with the big release here being the first volume of the Witch from Mercury novel. As promised, in this volume we're introduced to some new characters like Yushura Miru Zahani. a character that a lot of people have dubbed as Miorine's ex-girlfriend. Which isn't completely wrong, depending on which viewpoint you're taking, because I'm sure Miru Zahani herself will agree that she is in fact Miorine's ex-girlfriend. But Miorine will most likely not agree with you. And that is because the important distinction here is that Miru Zahani is Miorine's self-proclaimed groom. She's also got a Haro on a rocket-powered pogo stick. So I really wonder when or if we'll get this novel translated, officially. Then there was the April issue of Shonen Sunday S Special, in which Gundam Aggressor is being serialized, Big Comic Superior number 6, in which Gundam Thunderbolt is being serialized, and this time also comes with a papercraft Zeong head, which will look perfect next to the previous bonus, the Full Armor Gundam's head. Then there was the April issue of Gundam Ace, which has a Witch from Mercury B2 poster, Weekend Gunpla Amazing Technique, which will teach you how to make those old school Gunpla kits look amazing, the April issue of Model Graphics featuring the High Grade Engage Zero and High Grade Feroct, the April issue of Hobby Japan featuring the High Grade Hindry, Zawart, Master Grade RX-72 and more, and then the 10 techniques that will make you good at Gunpla Entry Grade Strike Gundam Edition, which not only features a bunch of tips and tricks to make the best entry grade Strike Gundam, but also comes with a bonus sheet of water slides. And my favorite tip from the preview pages is definitely the one for the high grade Perfect Strike. Throw out the high grade Strike itself and just straight up replace it with the entry grade. Instant improvement. Then we've also got some new manga. There was the second volume of Gundam Battle Operation Code Fairy, the 8th volume of F90FF, the 17th volume of Gundam Aggressor, with the improved Draken on the cover, the 21st volume of Gundam Thunderbolt, and then a brand new release, 3 volumes of Captain Zaku-san, a side story of Gundam-san. And the covers really are quite something. Volume 3 has Zaku-san all badass with his giant heat hawk and triple bazooka, but on Volume 2, he's having a nice drink, and on Volume 1, he's giving it his all at karaoke. Quite the visuals. So, moving on to the Gundam Apparel news, and this week it was Strict G who kicked things off with their newest Gundam Thunderbolt collection. They'll be in Strict G stores on March the 4th, but they were already available online over at P-Bandai. And we're really kicking things off in the best way possible with English. We've got a white EOS shirt that says, "When you hear jazz, that's your cue, that's I'm on stage." You were so close. But fortunately the black Daryl shirt is correct. Or maybe that's an unfortunately for some people. I'm Chief Petty Officer Daryl Lawrence, and I'll always be gunning for you. There's a navy full armor Gundam shirt, white Psycho Zaku shirt, gray EOS silhouette shirt, and khaki Daryl silhouette shirt. And if you want a jacket, you can get a navy EO inspired one, unfortunately, or fortunately, with the English on the back, or a black Daryl inspired one. They go for 13,200 yen each, 100 US, and the shirts were 4,730 yen, 35 US each. And if you need some more Gundam Thunderbolt stuff, well then Bankore has you covered with their Insignia t-shirts for 4,070 yen each, 30 US. You can get a white More Brotherhood shirt or a brown Living Dead Division shirt. And you can store all this apparel in the Holder Custom Folding Container that you can get for 7,150 yen, 53 US. It can hold up to 50 liters and will be sailing your way in June. And then let's quickly wrap things up with the polls. A few weeks ago, Gundam.info wanted to know what our favorite version of the narrative Gundam was. and the results were pretty close. The standard version lost out, but still got a respectable 13.7%, which isn't too far from the B packs, which I voted for, with 14.9%. And things get even closer at the top. The A packs, or the not Dendrobium, came in second with 35.4%, which was really neck and neck with the not Unicorn, or the C packs' 36%. So even in polls where the Unicorn isn't an option, it still somehow manages to become the most popular one. As for the ongoing one then, with White Day quickly approaching, Gundam.info wants to know which male character from Gundam 00 you would like to receive chocolate from. Or in other words, which of the Gundam Meisters is your favorite husbando? And I'm not so much surprised by the current ranking, as I'm surprised by the sheer amount that the number 1 is leading at the moment. On the main website, we have Tieria and Setsuna neck and neck for third place, with Alleluia sitting in a comfortable second place. But on the Twitter version, Tieria is in a relatively distant last place, with Setsuna inching towards Alleluia's second place. But in a decisive lead in both versions, we have Lock-On. And he's leading with like 70%. So yeah, I think we can already call who's going to win this poll. But I can definitely see why. Cool personality, cool guy, cool Gundam, coolness all around. And if you want to cast your vote, I will of course have the link down below. And that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.